What's up, guys?
Hi.
It's Amala.
It's Risa.
And today, what are we reacting to, Risa? Female dating coaches?
Female dating coaches.
Okay.
So since you guys liked the last one so much, I decided to find female dating coaches for men. So these are all self-proclaimed online dating coaches, and they have just advice for men.
Okay.
So we're kind of going to compare the difference and react to a few of these videos.
Yeah, last time we did men, and it was like a bunch of like, alpha, assert yourself, don't be
Yes.
too available, be mysterious.
Yeah, so we'll see a little overlap. It's funny because I found that most of these females, they were kind of the opposite in personalities. They weren't like these alpha, high maintenance type of women.
Mm-hmm.
They seemed very chill.
Okay.
It seemed like most of the advice was sound, but you guys can decide for yourselves.
Okay, I haven't seen any of these, so let's see if we can stand by what Risa just said. Here's number 1, dating cheat codes for men.
Dating cheat codes for men. You can meet women anywhere if you make eye contact and smile. Never beat yourself up if a woman isn't interested. It is either her loss or your mistake to learn from. When in doubt, put your mental health, happiness, and career first. You can give her a second chance, but never a third.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. Being smiley, being open, I think attracts all types of people, men or women, whatever you're looking for. We're out of Pride Month, but...
I feel like men would say, well, no, that only works if you're super attractive, right?
I don't think so. I think positive energy brings out positive energy. You don't want to be like faking your happiness or whatever.
Yeah.
You want it to be natural, but I don't care whether you're attractive or unattractive. If you're smiling and positive, that's energy that I want to be around.
And it's exuding confidence if you can look someone in the eye and smile.
Right. I already forgot what else she said.
She said, don't give them a second chance, but don't give them a third, which is interesting. Because what does it mean by...
It's so subjective at that point.
Like, what is something shitty that a woman has to do where you're like, all right, I'll give you a second chance?
What if she like flakes on the first date and is like, hey, I'm busy, and you give the second chance, but not the third?
What do you think about that? I guess it's okay.
It's kind of like the fool me once type thing, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I guess it depends on the reasoning. I wouldn't be happy if someone flaked on our first date.
You would not give that a second chance.
I don't think so.
Okay, I mean, it's subjective. I don't know that is like super sound advice to apply to every situation ever.
Well, when people say like, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. So I kind of see that. But I also think humans are, and women, they're subject to being like moody. Maybe they don't want to do something. I don't know if we can. I think they
women are moody. The feminists are gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad about that one. Okay. Moving on. There's more here. Okay, this is 3 red flags men often overlook in women.
3 red flags men often overlook in women. When you're attracted to a woman, it's really easy to overlook some of those red flags that can cause major problems in the relationship later down the line. Here is what to look out for. Inconsistencies in behavior. Pay attention to her inconsistencies between her words and her actions. If her behavior doesn't align with what she's saying, it could indicate a lack of authenticity or potentially even hidden motives. Manipulative behavior. Be wary of subtle manipulation tactics such as guilt tripping, gaslighting, even playing the victim. These behaviors can gradually erode your confidence and independence. Lack of accountability. Notice if she deflects her responsibility for her actions or refuses to apologize when she knows she's wrong. A healthy relationship requires both partners to take ownership of their own behavior and work towards a resolution. Ignoring these red flags in lieu of her charming personality otherwise can lead to heartache and toxicity in the long run.
Okay.
Very sound advice.
Of course, for anybody.
Oh, yeah. And we've talked about personality catfishing. Mm-hmm. So when she talked about their actions aren't aligned with their words.
Right.
I feel like sometimes people want to come off as something that they aren't because they're trying to actually catch you and trying to keep you as a partner. So I feel like they might portray certain personalities traits that aren't actually them.
Oh, 100%. And you'll start to notice it over time because somebody can only keep up a falsified act of who they are for so long. So you have to pay attention to the little inconsistencies in what they're saying versus what they're doing. And slowly that erodes away over the time. So it's like when you meet somebody and you're dating them, you're getting the best version of them right out of the gate.
Absolutely.
You're getting everything that you want right out of the gate. You have to make sure that that remains consistent. So I always tell a lot of people, I think for guys and girls, this is sound advice, but when you're right out of the gate meeting somebody or dating somebody, you don't need to be like too forward about everything that you want from this individual or what's ideal for you, because then they'll just start to mimic. You just want to like let things be normal.
Definitely.
Yeah, and see what happens. We're just talking about what else? Manipulation, accountability. This is just good advice for anybody in any situation. Friendships, business deals, relationships, men and women should all be looking out for this.
I think women are more likely to want to get sympathy from their partner, whether it's coming from a bad place or they just want to feel wanted and cared about. I will say, I think women will try to get some kind of emotion out of you, some kind of sympathy out of you, whether it's guilt tripping or not feeling like they have enough attention. Women are more likely to do that.
Yeah, the manipulative crying and stuff like that, like to in order to gain a certain result. You mean? Things like that? Yes. I think women are going to use the battleground of emotion far more than men would.
Oh, yeah.
Just because women are different in that way.
And I think that probably shows that they like you. Mm-hmm. But I think there's a level where that would be, it's past, yeah. It's like you're into the crazy girls.
Yeah. Some crazy girls use their emotions to manipulate you 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Men who do this are highly attractive to women. Ooh.
What qualities truly make a man sexy and attractive? The answer may surprise you, and no, it's not being 6 feet, having raging abs, or being super rich, so bear with me. I've asked various women what they truly look for, and they've all said something that really surprised me, and it's not being athletic, tall, or rich. One trait that seems to have the potential to trump all the other qualities I just listed is your masculinity. Women often say, I fell for him because he makes me feel like a woman. So when you're able to embrace your healthy masculine identity, that's when a woman can truly feel like a woman around you.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The ladies are killing it.
I know.
They're killing it. I don't know that this is particularly helpful for men. I'm trying to step out of my like woman brain of listening to this and saying like, yeah, this is sound advice, this is real. I don't know how much advice was actually packed in that video. How does a man access his masculinity? And does a woman really know how to tell a man how to access his masculinity in that way?
It's everything. It's like all the little actions, the details, like I think being a gentleman when it matters, planning the date, I've heard somebody say this, but like having to like turn your brain off because you know everything is taken care of. To me, that's like masculine. I don't know about like, I don't know if I've heard a lot of women say, because it makes me feel like a woman, because I'm trying to think like, I don't think that's how I feel when someone's being masculine. I don't know if I feel more feminine.
Interesting. I would say, yeah, you would be more in touch with your femininity because you're allowing somebody else to assert themselves in lead.
Yeah.
But you don't think so?
Maybe just for me personally, I don't know if I think like, oh, I just want to feel like a woman. I think I always feel like a woman. But I acknowledge that I'm a more masculine woman.
Right. I think every woman has like different levels of femininity and masculinity, and what most women, don't come for me after this, what most women are looking for in a partner is a man who, whatever their masculinity level is as a woman, the man has to up that. 100%, because you want to be able to turn off that part of yourself and not have to be leading the situation, making sure everything goes in a certain direction. You want to feel safe. You want to feel protected. Even if you're a totally masculine woman and you're like very and strong and all these things, you want a man who's gonna top that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that'll be the best thing for you. Now, how you do that as a man, I don't know if I have pointers as to like the little things. It would be a million different things.
It's a bunch of little things.
Think about what makes you feel safe and what makes you feel protected, and then how you can give that to somebody you're in a relationship with.
And it's like the basic gentleman things, like opening the door, like walking on the right side of the sidewalk. All of that works.
Yep. Make her feel safe.
Yeah.
Make yourself feel safe,
I
fellas.
feel like a princess.
Yep. Okay, next one. Men, how to ask her out.
Guys, do not ask her if she wants to hang out or if she's free this weekend. Ask her on a date. This means sharing a time, a place, and a cute little line that gets her excited to see you. Like, hey you, I remember you're a spicy marg connoisseur. El Centro has the best in town. Should we check it out for Taco Tuesday?
Okay. It works. Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
I actually think men do this all the time, that they say we should hang out.
Yes. Definitely. I mean, I'm not out on the dating scene, but I'm watching from the periphery as other women experience this from men. These sort of shapeless ideas of going out on a date and hanging out where they're just throwing the ball in your court with some ambiguous message about like, what are you doing this weekend? Or where are you at tonight? Instead of saying, hey, Friday, 8 p.m., I want to pick you up, look beautiful, wear heels,
Yeah.
we're going.
It's always like
simple.
yeah. And I have a lot of friends that have dealt with this too, where it's like, yeah, let's hang out Sunday, but they don't say what time, where, what we're doing, like
That
yeah.
It speaks to the last point of like when you are in your masculinity as a man and when a woman is in her femininity, it is being able to like turn off the brain and know that he's going to lead you in the right direction. And that's part of that turning off the brain is I don't have to plan the date. I know what I'm supposed to wear for this occasion. I know what time it is. I know what day it is. So you send her a text that says, hey, I'm free Saturday night. Be ready by 7. The dress code is dressy casual. And that's all she needs to know.
Yeah, that's it.
Shut off the brain and go.
You don't even have to have the whole plan
don't.
figured out yet. Just figure out the time of the date.
Yep. Just make it up and throw it at her.
And I will say, and do it quick. Like
Yes.
figure, like set, when you first meet her, if you're first interested in somebody, like set a time and date quick.
Yeah. And it might feel like tedious or whatever, but the way that the woman is interpreting that is like, oh my gosh, this is a man who has a plan. He knows how things are going to go. He's confident in himself, and he's just telling me where to be and at what time. That's all you got to do. I wonder how the men are in these comments. Let's actually
The comments were hilarious.
see what it says.
Boys, you don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. Y'all need to be asking the fish, like.
You do. Sometimes you gotta ask the fish, you know, what type of food should I put in the hook? Please. You're not biting the bait. Do I need to go buy some? Do I need to go to Bass Pro and buy something else? Sometimes you have to ask the fish.
Well, I guess you don't know everything about women yet.
You really do.
But this is a part of the problem, though. And I said this, I was like, if you're going to approach every sense of what a woman says is just like, you're wrong, there's your problem.
Yeah. Sometimes there's going to be women with very sound advice. There's going to be women with very unreasonable advice. The same thing goes for men. And we've already reacted to the male dating coaches, and their advice was all over the shop. So far, this has been pretty consistent. And if two women are telling you this is what we're attracted to, or this is what we're looking for, or all these women are saying it, you might want to just listen a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, if you were single, who would you listen to, a man or a woman more on dating advice?
I would go to a man for what men find attractive, because I think there is a male gaze and there is a female gaze. So these are like two different things and two different just biological traits that lead us in different directions as to what we're attracted to. So yeah, I would trust the advice of a man as to what they find more attractive.
Definitely.
The same thing should go for men. Like, please, she's telling you exactly how to ask her out on the date. And they're saying, you don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. You know what that comment says to me? You get no bitches.
Can we look at this motherfucker's face?
Alexander. Just you get no bitches. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Just be honest. Okay. Next one.
Here are 3 things men do that make women melt. And if you want more help cracking the code to women and you're not already following me, then today's your lucky day because we're about to change that. The first thing men do that sends chills up a woman's body is when the two of you are talking face to face and you push her hair behind her ear and just look at her for a second. You don't even have to...
Look at my face. First of all, not possible.
I could see somebody watching this though and doing it to a black girl, like, let me push
Yeah,
those brains.
Yeah, you know, it applies. Would that work for you?
I don't think on the first date, no.
It's just not normal. It's not normal. That would feel like such a move to me and so like robotic and like it's almost like if AI was telling you how to get a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, yeah. You watched a bunch of romance films, you're like, that's what they did.
Right. Yeah. I don't know that I would ever, even if I knew somebody for a long time, if they like push my hair, I don't know that I would ever find that attractive, to be honest. But that's just me. I know a lot of women who would and would see that, oh my gosh, it's so traditional and romantic, but
yeah,
for me it's a little weird.
It's too corny, I think. It's like the stretch put behind the
yeah. Cornball.
Corny ass nigga.
Okay, next.
Don't have to say anything. Just looking at her is going to make her feel seen and beautiful. The second thing is when she's in your passenger seat and you have one hand on the wheel and one hand on her inner thigh. There's just something about this that makes her feel safe and helps build an intimate connection.
You know what makes me feel safer? 10 and 2, buddy.
Oh, I was gonna say the seatbelt.
I'd rather you follow the rules of the road, actually. No, I guess that's fine. I don't mind that.
Wait, let's read the comments on this one.
Okay. I tried 1 and 2. I'm currently sitting in the waiting room with HR. That's what this guy says.
Guess who's going to jail?
Which seems to be a through line. A lot of guys say that, oh, this is going to get me in trouble, and, you know, women are not actually going to like this. I tried number 1. I'm no longer allowed on Delta Airlines. My mom didn't like it at all. I tried. Okay?
Anything with touching, I think you have to wait.
Yes.
A little bit. Anything to do with touching. I think I've said this before, like touching the shoulder, touching like a hand a little bit at dinner on a first date, that's okay.
Yeah.
Touching the back, like.
You have to be very good at reading social cues. A woman will let you know immediately whether or not she's interested in that or not, and whether or not she would like you to move forward or not. But if you're not feeling very confident in your read on her, wouldn't even enter that territory personally. It's not worth the risk. Like, a lot of the guys are commenting here, instructions unclear, I'm facing life in prison chat, am I cooked? I've got a restraining order now. If you're doing this to the wrong person and somebody if you don't feel comfortable reading this person and knowing where they're at with you yet, you shouldn't feel comfortable getting in the realm of touch with that person.
And if you're going to do it with confidence.
Yeah. And, you know, if all else fails and you have no clue, ask. It might be a little bit of a mood dampener, and women are not that into the idea of asking, even though they say they are. But if all else fails and you really see no clarity in the situation, ask.
I don't think it's weird to be like, oh, can I hold your hand?
To me, it's not attractive. It wouldn't be a deal breaker.
It's more attractive if someone just does it, but then there's that.
When you know and you're confident, that's the most attractive.
You know they like you.
It's such a tough. It's tough out there for you fellas. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I'm glad I'm not you. I'm glad I'm not
I would
you.
say anything touching, just don't do it don't do it on the first date. I feel like that's a good just like across the board.
But okay, here's the retort I'm gonna hear back, because I hear a lot of women say this as well. I don't even feel like he really liked me. He didn't touch me. He didn't hug me. He didn't try to kiss. I literally heard a girl the other day say he didn't try to kiss me after our first date. I don't even know if he likes me. So what do you say to that?
No, because I feel like it's kind of a good thing if they're like, I don't know if he likes me, because that means they care, and then everything that you do to follow up has to show that you're interested in seeing her again.
Okay, so leave the physical and show with the emotional and your words and your actions outside. Yeah,
if he likes you, he's gonna want to see you again. Some men are really respectful too.
Yes,
I would say
respectful is always great.
I've definitely known like a lot of guys that like, oh yeah, I don't want to make someone feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I'd rather just wait till I know.
Wait it out, fellas. Wait it out. Okay, she has one more bit of advice, I think, or 2 more, something like that.
And lastly, this one is so underrated because she thinks it only happens in the movies, but you're about to blow her away by being as sentimental and adorable as Ryan Gosling in The Notebook by doing this one thing. It's taking pictures of her at random times when you're together just to document the times you think she looks beautiful.
Okay, I thought she was gonna be like, go on a Ferris wheel when she's on another date with another guy, hang from the Ferris wheel and tell her that you're gonna kill yourself if she doesn't go on the dates. Insert the scene.
Well, you got me?
What?
take pictures of her at random times.
This is cute. Not on the first couple dates.
Please, no, not
Don't
the first
take a
couple
picture.
dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw a TikTok of a girl that she went on a first date with a guy who's like a freelance photographer. And on their first date, he just kept taking photos of her, even though she was clearly uncomfortable with it. But he thought it was like romantic and cute since it's his job. And she was just so not into it. It's, again, you have to gauge your comfortability with this person first. Then you can start doing that. If you're on a first date and you haven't even established that this is a relationship, I'm just thinking, now this guy that I barely know has a ton of photos of me on his phone, and what is he going to use that for? It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's weird. She is saying that to do it when they're not aware of it, right?
She said at just random moments when you feel like she looks beautiful, take pictures of her, of like, you look so beautiful that I had to document this moment.
Yeah, I think if you...
Not on a first date, fellas.
Not on a first date. And if you do it, like, do it one time.
To see where she's at with that, yeah.
Yeah, like, don't do multiple photos like the photographer.
Yeah. That's... I don't know... Maybe don't listen to that TikTok.
We found some bad advice.
Strike it from the record. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay.
No matter how much you like someone, the moment they make you question your self-worth, run away. Because your self-respect is bigger than your feelings.
Okay.
I feel like this is a common thing told to females.
Yes, I don't often hear that said to men.
Which is a good thing. Everybody should hear that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good advice. I don't know if I have any criticism or if...
Yeah, I would say... Okay, she said the moment that somebody makes you feel, like questions your self-worth, you're done with them. Just insecurity can lead you to believe somebody's questioning your self-worth when they're not. So just be very aware. Like, you have to have a strong radar for knowing when actually somebody is trying to bring you down and when somebody's not. But if you're fine-tuned in that respect, then yeah, don't let a woman try to beat down your self-worth. I think that's especially for men, because I think the role of a woman in a lot of relationships, and maybe somebody will argue with this, is to sort of like hype up your man and, speak to his masculinity and speak to his power and his strength. So if you're on date 1 or 2 with a woman and she's already knocking your self-worth as like a neg or like to establish dominance, probably not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if a female would do it to get you to want her more, which is not okay, but I'm trying to think of it if a woman was doing it for her own benefit.
Oh,
but yeah, even if she likes you and she's doing it out of a manipulation to get you, like, it's not okay. Yeah.
Move on. You want somebody who hypes you up and speaks greatly of your self-worth and all that. Yeah. It's good advice. Kick them to the curb. Next, attractive men do this.
Attractive men do this. Firstly, I want to start off by saying what you shouldn't do. Men who do this will never truly be able to keep a woman interested, attracted, and most of all, respect you. If you make a woman your top priority and your sole purpose is to make her happy, she will be fearful suddenly that you're going to be needy and clingy all of a sudden and all the time in the future. So by putting yourself first and putting your own goals and mission in life your sole priority above all else, that actually makes her feel very secure. A high-value woman's gonna want you to put everything above her and your own priorities first, because that's what she is so attracted about.
I don't know that I agree with this one. I can understand where she's coming from. That, like, a woman wants a man who's, like, goal-oriented and he's got shit to do and he's driven and, yeah, it's cool that you're here, but also I'm going to be fine without you. And that's the sign of a very attractive, high-value man. But at some point when you're entering a relationship with somebody, it's not I put me and myself over her. It's I put us at the top of the priority list and what is best for us. Not me above you or you above me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think what she's saying is, like, at the very beginning.
Sure.
I think you have to show you have your own career going on and you care. That is your number one thing to care about in the current, state of their relationship.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, when you take somebody in and someone's like your girlfriend, you don't want to feel like it's their goal, your goals, and your job over them.
Right, like, sorry, you're having a hard day. I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
That's not, I gotta put my priorities first. Yeah.
I do think it's attractive for a man to be so focused on what he's doing and not what she said, don't be clingy and about her. Like, I'd rather have somebody be more interested in their work than me at the beginning. You know what I mean?
But you want, I think, a part of that, like, fun chase in the beginning with a high value man or somebody who's super driven is that, like, they recognize the value in you so much that they're willing to divert a little bit of their attention over to what you have going on. So it's about striking a balance. I wouldn't, like, always put everything over this woman if you see something, if you see a future in her. So not a great...
I would be okay with somebody putting there. Like, if something was work-related, I would be okay with them putting that up.
But for how long? Like, how long does that last for you to where you're like, okay, maybe I'm not as valuable as I thought I was to you?
I mean, if the relationship got serious, I can see where that wouldn't be okay in certain things. Like, if you were missing important events because of work or things that were important to me, like, I could definitely see why that wouldn't be okay.
Sure.
But yeah, at the beginning, I don't feel like anybody owes you anything.
Right.
You know?
Your world shouldn't stop.
Yeah. So if this thing was important to you before you met me and it's still like a big priority, I totally respect that.
Agreed.
And I would want my partner to respect that too.
Yeah. Fair enough. In the beginning, most definitely. Okay. Hot guy apartment essentials. Okay.
I tried to throw some fun ones in.
Apartment essentials that show you've got your shit together, even if you don't. Art. Have some decency and cover up those naked walls. Prints, paintings, your own masterpiece, as long as you have a story about why it's there, she'll like it too. Rugs. Rugs and carpets are high-impact pieces that instantly zhuzh up your space with warmth and personality. Fresh bedding. Black or yellowing sheets or pillows without cases are straight up gross. Make your bed, and if you really want to impress her, add an accent pillow or quilt. Plants. They add so much life to your space, and just a touch of greenery brings your apartment from sad and sterile to serene and stylish.
Okay. Oh, this one's so interesting because we have different takes on this.
Yes. Yes, we do.
And just for a little bit of background, I live in a very lifeless apartment. So, like, this is the most life my apartment has. There's rugs, there's paintings, all the things she mentioned. When you step out of this room, the walls are barren. There's nothing going on in this apartment. If I was dating a man and I show up to his apartment and, like, everything looks, like, super pristine, he has art with a story to it, there's accent pillows, there's a quilt on the bed, and there's a rug, I'm gonna be like, who cooked here? Who was here before me?
What woman was it?
Jessica, Tiffany, Stephanie, who was in here?
Brandy, Heather, Channing, Brianna, Amber, Sabrina, Melody, Dakota, Sierra, Bambi, Crystal, Samantha, Autumn, Ruby, Taylor, Tara, Tammy.
Before I step foot in this apartment, because I know this is, like, not coming from you.
I disagree. I think men have their own style, just like they have their own clothing style.
Sure. They
like decor. A mature man will like his apartment looking put together and reflect his style and personality. And I will say, it's an age thing. In my early 20s, when I walked into men's apartments, like, it was nothing.
Right.
It looked like a bunch of dudes lived there, or a dude lived there. Versus, like, now, like, I feel like in my, like, late 20s, now I'm, like, 31, I feel like most of the guys, like, had their apartments put together as they should. And it was, you know, they had artwork, they had accents, like...
Why are you gay?
Where are my glasses at? I need to start a study on this, okay? I'm gonna hypothesize right now that there is a correlation between a man having a super nice apartment and a super high body count. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say you have a rug. You have a rug, that's 5 bodies. Quilt on the bed, 25 bodies. There's no way. There's just no way. And, you know, it is nice when a guy has nice things and he has a sense of style or whatever. I am just going to be questioning, where did that come from? Who cooked here?
I agree. I agree with you to a certain extent, because men do things for women, right? So if, like, women are coming over to their place, they're doing it to impress them.
The body count is high. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Slut. I'm like looking back, I was like, damn, is she right?
That's why I had to bring out the glasses, right? They never lie. They never lie. Okay. Next one.
Girls will not lose interest in you if you do this. Save this for the next time you start talking to someone new. The best way to keep a girl from losing interest in you is by being unbothered. Because you'll notice that in the early stages of talking to someone, girls will send you a lot of mixed signals. And a lot of times, it's simply just because it's new and she's still trying to figure it out. But the mistake that I see so many guys making is panicking when this happens. So instead of panicking and blowing up her phone, you simply need to match her energy. If she starts to pull back, do the same. And if she starts to give you more, do the same. Because you are both still figuring out whether or not you like each other. So it doesn't necessarily mean that something has gone wrong if she starts to pull back. But I will tell you, she is always 100% more interested in the guy who isn't begging for her attention than the guy who is.
Okay.
I think this is true, unfortunately.
I think it's true to a certain extent. I know a lot of people, this is like the slogan of 2024, matching energy. I want him to match my energy. I want somebody to match my freak or whatever the fuck people are saying these days. Just be who you are. I don't need you to match me. I don't need you to mimic me. I don't need you to mirror me. I want you to be who you are. And what's really attractive is like a man who is himself no matter what you throw at him. So if I'm throwing like panic at you, you remain the man that you are. If I'm pulling back, you remain the man that you are. If I'm doing all this crazy stuff, you remain the man that you are. I don't need you to match what I'm giving you because I don't want to date me. I want to date you.
I agreed, but I think that nobody should be too like thirsty is what she's saying.
Sure. But I don't think it needs to be like if she texts me, this many times a day, I'm going to match that and text her that. If she pulls away, I'm going to match it and do exactly what she's doing to me. I'm not for this like cat and mouse game thing in dating.
I think that you have to adapt to how somebody communicates though.
Okay. Explain.
More so, like if a woman wants to text you during the day, I probably would text her to show that if that's how she's showing love, like I think that's how you should show love. If she does not want to be texted, like needs a little more space, like I would match that energy.
Okay, so what if you're a guy who's not a texter and you meet a girl who's like super into texting or whatever, and he says to you, I'm not a big texter. Like I can text you here and there, but I just want to let you know like this is who I am and this is like what I can maintain and be consistent with. I can't text you as much as you're texting me. And that doesn't mean I have less interest in you. Just means that's who I am. Would you be like, I can't do that?
No, I think that's fair. If somebody communicates.
Right. Because what I see with like the whole matching her energy thing is if you set this expectation that you're just going to match whatever somebody gives you, you're setting yourself up to fail because it's not who you are.
I think that's true with certain personality differences, but the communication thing, that makes more sense to match the energy.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like at the beginning, to show interest, how you feel like this person likes communication, this is how they receive it and how they give it. But that's not saying like change your personality to match her energy, her personality's energy.
Right. Just give the same amount of yourself as to like the amount of herself that she's giving you.
Yeah. And I will say, like, recently I had a friend who told me that she wasn't that interested in a guy, but he was still, like, reaching out to her all the time. And she's like, well, she's still responding, but she's not reaching out at all. And I'm like, well, why are you responding? She goes, well, I'm just doing it out of, like, the attention and because it's something to do. But clearly she is not matching his energy back. Right. She is not the one reaching out to him. So I think that's what it makes more sense to look out for.
Yeah, like gauge that as a man and know when to quit.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. There's nuance. Okay, next one. How to not come off as creepy on a date.
So you want to physically escalate with her without coming off creepy. Let me teach you how. So it's really important on a date that you break that touch barrier with her because she needs to know that you're both not afraid to touch her and that you can read a room correctly. That you're not afraid of going after what you want and being unapologetic about it. So there's a couple ways of doing that. During high points of the conversation, touch or tap her arm or shoulder. Be smart about where you're taking her, maybe out to dance or play games, something that involves touch and movement. Oh, almost just showed you the goods. Taking her hand and leading her somewhere. She does something that warrants your praise, you can spin her around. Tell her how much you like whatever quality she's showing in a woman. And if you want to know with 100% certainty that she wants you to kiss her, You're gonna look between her eyes and her lips. Up and down, just like that. And if she does it back, you're free to kiss her. Follow for more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the last part about the kissing, that's a good way to gauge it. She's saying it's like so important to break the touch barrier. If you go into a date with that mindset, you're setting yourself up for like a weird situation. It is not so important to break the touch barrier. And I like guaranteed, I don't know, normal women I don't think are thinking, when is he gonna break the touch barrier on this date?
Yeah.
And she says at the same time, she contradicts herself by saying it's important to break the touch barrier. And then she says it's also important to read the room. If you're reading the room and the room is telling you not to break the touch barrier right now, which for a lot of women that would be the case, you don't need to break the touch barrier on the date then. I don't know.
And then the advice with the kissing thing, I just feel like most guys, I don't know if they're like reading in, like, I feel like most people who kiss, they're not reading into it or giving like a sign back that they want to kiss. Like you just know.
It's a tough one.
You just know. But then I try to think of somebody who's like so ignorant towards like dating and women, like maybe it is good advice to like look at their lips and eyes before you kiss them, or
all else fails, ask. Instead of like resorting to different tricks and stuff that are going to come off as weird, if all else fails, ask. Especially in the time that we're in these days with how things can be. You get to the end of the day, you go, I had a really nice date, you know, I would love to go on a second date with you. Can I kiss you? It's cool. Just like be normal. Just be normal about it. Don't make it like weird. Just be normal. As long as everything's casual and the conversation's flowing. Or you can say, I'd really like to kiss you. That's a totally, that's like a nice way of putting it and saying what you want from somebody and then they can reciprocate.
That's true.
Yeah. Or like, I've been wanting to kiss you all night, or there's things like that. Just you can put thoughts out there that she can sort of respond to, and then you have something to gauge rather than like watching her eyes and trying to see where she's looking. It's
the
tough.
touch thing is it is tough.
That's why I say I'm so glad I'm not a guy, because you, as a woman, you kind of just get to enter the situation and you get to just make decisions, and he sort of has to lead the way. It's a tough thing to figure out. If I was a man and just had to figure these things out, I don't know how good I would be at it. People can throw you off. I don't know. Maybe I would be. I feel like I can read.
I guess I don't understand if women are that confusing, because I'm sure they are, but I can't gauge what that's like.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what it's like to be y'all. I really don't. You'll have to let us know in the comments down below how these things go for you and how confused you were, or if you just understood and you know how to read these things. Okay, this is the last one. Things nice guys, in air quotes, do wrong.
There are things nice guys do wrong. Always apologizing, even if there's nothing to be sorry about, because they always want to please and never offend. Being too available. They always respond immediately and will cancel plans just to see a girl. Texting 24/7. Because they worry she'll lose interest, they text constantly, which lowers attraction.
Okay. It's all good. Yeah, don't apologize when you don't need to apologize. Don't text too much. Don't be too available. It's good.
The nice guy thing is a weird dynamic, right? Because we've talked about this before, where it's important to be kind and it's important to be nice, but you can't come off like a pushover. Like you still have to have that respect for yourself. And it's but that doesn't mean not to be nice.
Yes. It's about being nice when the situation warrants it and like pulling that back when it doesn't. I don't know. A lot of guys are like, or maybe women even will say this, like, I want a guy who's going to protect me, who's going to, like, fight somebody who looks at me the wrong way or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, do you really want that? It's kind of crazy.
Remember, I have a boyfriend.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe we can be, you know what I'm saying, you can be somebody for me to know.
No, my boyfriend crazy. He kill people.
I want a man who, like, brings the fists out and brings the masculinity out when it's necessary. And the worst thing you can do is be with a man who doesn't know when that's necessary and just goes for it. The same can be said for niceness. You want a general air of niceness, but in situations where it isn't warranted, you hope you have a man who can gauge that and figure it out.
Yes.
But I think when she's talking about nice guys, she's probably talking about these like super pursuant, ball is always in her court guys who are always available, always saying sorry, you know, always tripping over themselves.
Good morning, beautiful. Just want to let you know I've been thinking about you all night last night. I had such a Bitch, wake up. You ain't sleep, ho.
For anybody, but if a woman last minute invites you to do something or expects you to drop a plan, for her, like, that's not okay.
Yeah, assert yourself. Put her in a place.
Yeah.
And some women are into that. Others are not.
Laugh in their face if they want to argue.
Yeah, that's what that last guy said. She wants to argue with you, just laugh at her. Oh my goodness. I mean, so far, this has been pretty sound advice for the most part. I feel like with the guys, we got a lot crazier hot takes all mixed in there, and maybe it's just more saturated for guys making male dating content?
Maybe. I think it attracts a certain type of alpha male.
Okay.
That's sort of like, I hate to say toxic, but just overly masculine.
Yeah.
Overly bro-y. Like, that's the type of guy that's giving men advice. I will say, we didn't see any of these women try to sell anyone an ebook.
No courses. This whole video. That's actually crazy.
All genuine. All of them, I think, sell something or do private coaching, but it wasn't forced.
It wasn't forced like the men were. Every man was trying to sell me an ebook, trying to get me to sign up for a Zoom call. But the thing is, in all of these comments, it's men telling these women they're not going to listen to their advice.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy, because we're here telling you this is sound advice.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, not all of them. But there's a lot of men saying, this is not advice I'm going to take. I'm not going to listen to a fish about how to catch fish.
I just want to, see some of the guys that leave these types of comments, and I just want to be like, what are you like? Like, do you actually know better? Because, anybody who's just bored commenting something negative, it's a very specific it must be a very specific type of person.
Yes, it does have to be a very specific type of guy. And again, I don't think you're getting any bitches.
Your game absolutely sucks!
If you are leaving that comment.
You don't got any rug in your apartment.
No rugs, no bodies. No bodies. Guys, that's it. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about this advice, especially from the men. Are you going to take this advice? Is this sound advice? Do you don't listen to fish on how to catch fish? Let us know if you second that. The women, would this advice work on you? Has it worked on you? Are you in relationships, married, single? Let us know in the comments down below. What else can we do, Risa?
Subscribe, and click the notification bell.
Yes, to be notified every single time we post a video for you guys. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys. Okay.